Warning. Geesebumps is a comedy podcast based on the works of R.L. Stine. Any similarity to an actual literature podcast is coincidental and unintentional.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's how you stay alive. Swimming, basketball, archery, Camp Jellyjam Sports Camp has it all. Too bad Wendy isn't a total sports freak like her brother Elliot. But how excited can you get over a game of softball? It's just a game, right? Wrong. Because Camp Jellyjam is no ordinary sports camp. And Wendy's about to find out why. Why the counselors seem a little too happy, a little too obsessed with winning, and why the ground is always rumbling late at night. Him stinks so bad he dies.
Welcome to Geesebumps, a Did You Mean Goosebumps podcast. I'm Danielle, and I have a PhD.
Listen up, team. Hey, listen up. You got spirit. Yes, you do. I'm JoJo, and I have a PhD too.
My name is Jeff, and I don't know if you knew this, but I'm turning 37 years old this month.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you. Everyone keep your applause down. Thank you. But I'm turning 37, and my question is, now at 37, I feel like it's the perfect time to get some muscles for sports. Mostly for sports. How do I go about doing that?
It's all about protein.
Yep.
It's all about how much protein you intake. So you got to get protein from you just got to jam pack every hole you got with protein, obviously.
Shove whole eggs down your throat.
You got to, they don't tell you this, there's a lot of protein in the shell.
Oh yeah, crunch that baby.
You got to crunch that baby. You also need to get a protein-based lotion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That goes on the skin, right?
Obviously, it goes on the skin. It has to be chock full of different kinds of plant protein, chickpeas.
and beans.
And beans, gotta have beans. You gotta have beans in your lotion.
Should I just be rubbing hummus on my body at night?
That's not the worst idea I've heard.
Well, I don't know, Jeff. Do you want to win a gold medal or not?
I really do. At age 37, I've yet to win a gold medal in anything.
Yet to win a gold medal.
Have either of you won a gold medal in something?
Yes. Well, not a medal, a ribbon. But I also won a big old karate trophy, so suck on that.
Karate
You
trophy.
won a big karate trophy.
Where is it? It's not here.
My mom has it.
What? Why don't we have it here?
I don't. What?
I'd put that in the window for everyone to see. That would stop burglars from coming.
Oh yeah, we better not get in there. We don't want to go into that house.
That's got a karate champion.
The shut-in knows Taekwondo.
I'm staring. There's a guy standing in the window of the house next door, and he's facing the window. And you're just standing there.
Are you making eye contact? Is he looking at you?
I can't tell. I think I might be in danger.
Danielle, flash the karate trophy.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, show him that you're nothing to fuck with. Show him that show him you're gonna be like, you come out and step closer, I'll give you a bicycle kick and maybe my bird-like bones won't break.
What if you just instead of taking pepper spray with you out in the town, you just take your giant karate.
You just brought karate?
Yeah.
Just take your enormous karate trophy with you, and if somebody starts to step up,
Beat them to death with it.
So this week on Geesebumps, we read The Horror at Camp Jellyjam, which was actually recommended by someone on Twitter whose handle I've let slip through the sands of time. So whoever you are out there, I hope you're happy that we read this book that none of us like that much.
Whoever you are, we will find you.
Hey now. On the spectrum of Goosebumps, this one is not the worst.
Is it not a Let's Get Invisible, Danielle?
Fuck you.
This one I had fun up until various points.
It was.
End.
I enjoyed it up until like the final resolution-y parts.
Right.
Where they tried to answer questions that they had posed, and they did so very, very unsuccessfully.
All of R.L. Stine's books appear to have been written in part during the writer's strike of the early aughts.
Yes.
All of R.L. Stine's books seem to have been written under duress. I do not remember jack all about this book. So who's going to be doing the synopsis?
I'll be doing the 2-minute synopsis because I wrote down a nice little flow chart for this book. All right, somebody time me on this bad boy.
And go.
This book stars brother and sister Wendy and Elliot. They are in a car ride with their mom and dad, who are fairly nondescript, except they make a point to say that the mom is plump and looks nothing like mom. looks nothing like Elliot, Wendy, or the dad, which I'm not sure why you think your wife has to look like you. But they're driving to Wyoming. They just left Idaho, and they have a big trailer in the back, and the kids are bored, really bored in the car, so they ask if they can go in the trailer in the back while they're riding. Mom and dad say, sure, fuck you, you're annoying, go to the trailer. They get in the trailer, and apparently, randomly, the trailer comes unhitched from the car or the truck that they're driving in and just careens down the hill that they were driving up, however, safely landing in some sort of brushy area of the forest. A man named Buddy opens the door to the trailer and says, hey, kids, what's up? And invites them down to stay while they wait for the mom and dad to find them at Camp Jellyjam. It is a sports camp. It is adorned with flags. It is apparently miles wide and miles long, assumedly housing thousands of children in the wilderness, but has dorms, has kitchen, has Cokes, has cornflakes, has everything a kid could want. It is run by all of these counselors who are like kind of teenagers. They're all dressed in immaculate white clothing, and they all seem kind of Stepford wifey. They're like, you got to play sports. You got to get good at sports. And they all have a phrase they say, which is only the best, only the best. It is almost like a cult type scenario. Elliot, her younger brother, is very competitive, and he goes and plays games. And we find out if you get 6 wins, you get 6 coins with coin for every victory, and the coins are Jellyjam coins. When you get 6 of those, you get to do the winner's walk that evening. Kids start disappearing after the winner's walk, and no one seems to fucking care. Mom and dad aren't coming. The camp is cut off. And then you find out that the winners actually get taken down to some sort of weird cave where a gigantic purple slug ooze monster called Camp Jellyjam, who's still wearing a crown for some reason, has all these kids washing him. He oozes snails through his sweat pores.
Time.
Fuck. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, you got pretty much there.
I got to the Camp Jellyjam. I got to the big fucking sentient piece of shit that wears a crown.
And I feel like we're probably going to go in hard enough on that part that what happens there will become clear.
This book had so much potential.
It really did.
For creep.
Yep.
And you know what it did?
What did it do, Jeff?
It oozed snails out of its pores instead. Snails. Not slugs.
They have little houses. Yeah. He makes little houses for them.
What's wrong with snails? Why are you anti-snail?
I'm just saying, if I had to force a sluggish type creature out of my pores, just a slug would be fine, or a worm. A snail's got like a hard ass shell on it.
Does it have pores?
I think that this monster is getting a really bad rap because really he's a very generous monster who houses snails when they come out of him. They come out with a little house.
Yeah, he does provide them housing.
He provides them housing. Good. He's providing housing to all these children
who are also like snails,
who are also slimy and gross. And I feel like he's really just a benevolent benefactor, and everyone's being a huge fucking dick about it.
We never got to hear about his healthcare for all plan. This is very true, Danielle.
Yeah, he's got homes for all, health for all.
Is King Jellyjam a socialist?
Yes.
And if so, I'm down.
King Jellyjam is the ultimate.
He farms the work in order to keep the engines of communism running.
That's right. That's what he does.
And you do that through sport.
That's correct.
You do that through sport, working class.
So this book has an interesting kind of like Midsommar cult kind of Stepford vibe. And then it decides to shit the bed.
Midsommar. No shit. That's the pull you made. Oh, man. Okay, cool. I'm in it.
But yeah, this book had so many weird missteps when it seemed like it was an easy slam dunk on so many different plot points.
It could have been. And
slam dunk is a sports thing, so you're welcome.
It is a sports thing. That is what Dr. Sports said.
If you want a sports metaphor, think of the event in gymnastics where they have to run down this little runway and vault themselves over this fucking vaulty block thing.
And what happens instead, Danielle?
Here's what happens. R.L. Stine, he ran down that runway.
I can picture it in my head.
He ran it good.
In his suit.
And then he hit the thing.
Yeah, and then he tried to jump, but instead he just fucking facepalmed.
He just barely,
Just
1
face
second too late.
right into the block, and then his body kind of shot out under it.
He wears glasses. No, he broke them.
Yeah, he got blinded.
He got blinded also.
The glasses in his eyes.
What an absolute goof he did.
But I mean, and I guess maybe after all of it, through the sports and through the ooze, I'm left with questions as to what this book was trying to tell me, what this book was trying to impart to me, the reader.
It's absolutely one of the worst things ever. But we can't keep harping on how bad it was. That's not our role. Our role is to discuss what was good about it. But before we can do that, we're going to need to know what this book is about. And there's only one person who I think is enough of a physical specimen to tell us about what this book is about. Fresh in from his whirlwind win at the Summer
X Games.
Couch Olympic X Games. Please welcome Robert Louis Stine.
That's not my name, Joe.
What is your name this week?
Well, yeah, let's revisit this bit that we kind of let fall by the wayside.
We kind of let fall to the side the last few episodes.
If you must continue to jabber, at least jabber with my correct name, which is Raspberry Loaf Meat Stine.
Raspberry
Loaf meat. It's hyphenated.
loaf. It's a meatloaf, but reversed.
It's a loaf meat. It's correct.
Do you go by your first name or last name when you're on a friend basis? Your first name or your middle name when you're on a friend basis?
I don't know if I should reveal that information, but I do respond to Raspy.
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 Raspy
Okay.
Stine.
Yes, well, Raspy, we done read Jellyjam. So what is this book about?
Yeah. What's the DNA of this book?
So I want to let you know that one of my favorite authors is Octavia Butler, and she has posited in many of her novels that the true downfall of humanity is its proclivity and desire for hierarchy. I was looking for a metaphor for humanity's proclivity toward hierarchy, and what is not devastatingly obvious, if not sport, in which we are the most overtly aggressive, competitive, dehumanizing, and hierarchically sorted into different levels and stages and medals. And you see what I'm saying? Do you see? I wanted to make the point that hierarchy presents the illusion of a meritocracy. You think that the people who win have won because they are better than other people. You think that the winners are entitled to better preferential treatment because they ran faster than someone else.
So you're saying that if I continue to get real good at basketball, that I'm nothing but a slave to this meritocracy that you're speaking of, where I'm not helping anyone.
Correct. You are not serving anyone any good purpose.
By being good at sports.
By being good at sports.
So ultimately what you're saying is sports were the bad guy.
That's correct.
Raspy Stine. It's a good take. I appreciate that.
Thank you for making sure that we knew exactly what this book was about, the dangers of an illusory meritocratic society.
Well put, Joe.
Well, R.L. Stine, that was great. We appreciate you coming to our show.
I bet you couldn't backflip out of here.
Yeah.
I would prefer, if it is okay with you, to ribbon dance my way out.
All right, yeah, ribbon dance. That sounds hot.
I'll open our front window.
Thank you.
And the floor is yours.
Thank
What
you.
song would you like us to play during your ribbon dance routine out of this house?
It's raining men.
Gotcha.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
This fucking book, man. This fucking book.
All right. Let's get into it.
I don't even know where to start with this shit.
Oh, come on, you whiny babies.
So Joe distinctly said he does not intend to contribute shit.
I am like normally when we do our show, I'm just like, yeah, fuck yeah. This one I literally said before, like, guys, I plan on voting. I'm planning on it. It's going to be a part of it. So
I've got a vision board, and it's all of pictures of me on the phone for phoning it in on this episode.
All different kinds of
phones too. Pay
there's
phones.
there's nothing interesting in this whole book. There's nothing interesting.
Have you done summer camp?
So what I wasn't able to get to as in the synopsis that we have to at least mention before getting into the rest of the book, because we keep bringing up King Jellyjam,
Our hero,
is that this camp is basically under a hypnotic spell, I guess, from a giant sentient purple slug man. If he's a man, he's a king.
sentient slug.
A sentient slug
entity.
of sorts. It said they describe the monster in this book as a giant chewed up piece of purple bubblegum
Yes,
That's what he looks like. Yeah,
with a crown.
with a crown.
With a crown on.
That's key.
And has hypnotized, at least as far as we know, the camp counselors to get the kids to continually do sport 24/7. Well, not 24/7, 18 hours a day.
Yes, they're very motivated.
Very motivated. And if you continue to win, you get a little coin. When you get 6, you get to do a fun little walkie. And
The winners walk.
The winners walk.
The winners walk.
And those
you
winners the
ascend.
next day are gone because
Right.
they are in this subterranean lair washing this giant purple slug thing with mops and sponges and buckets, because if he gets too dry...
Or if he starts to smell himself.
It has nothing to do with dryness, Jeff.
Well, they're just washing him because he smells so bad.
He stinks
Yes.
so bad.
And if he smells himself too much...
He stinks so bad. He he dies himself. That's the
That's the plot.
That's the plot.
That's the plot.
He stinks so bad he dies himself.
And
Yeah.
they're trying to get the best athletes because it's a very demanding physical
Apparently
job.
being a good bowler translates to washing a giant fucking slug monster.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, he wants the most physical specimens, the most powerful physical. And if they do a bad job, he eats them.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But also, I just have to say, 11 and 12-year-olds, everyone's kind of the same specimen.
Yeah, there's not really a truly impressive athlete that's 12.
Yeah, there's not a true specimen out there that could usurp the king. But
No.
But yes, and then Wendy, the hero, uses her smarts, which maybe we'll talk about the specifics of when we get to the end. But frees everybody, and the day is won.
Yep.
The end.
Yep. Did it.
They killed him. The king is dead. Long live the king. Danielle, do you have anything from the beginning of this book specifically that you'd like to cite?
I do. The one part that I was going to bring up is R.L. Stine has a knack for good car trip, like authentic dialogue. Because
Are you talking about R.L. Stine's golden ear?
I am talking about that golden ear.
His golden ear for dialogue?
This is just a little passage from. Do I have a page number? I don't.
Chapter, we're all reading different versions, so maybe just giving us the chapter and
this
approximate
is-
space in there.
For me, it's one page into chapter 1. And it starts with.
So it's literally the first
Page one.
page.
I think we
No,
all have the same
no.
page,
So page
one.
one?
though.
one
Danielle?
page past chapter 1.
Page 2.
So page 2 then. It's gotta be 1 or 2.
I mean,
I would like you, Danielle, moving forward in this book in this episode, only describe the page you're pulling from in relation to where it is from the page 1.
that'll be easy because that's how they number
It's
them.
500 pages from page 1. I seem to have stumbled into a copy of Frank Herbert's Dune. Anyway,
Okay.
Page 2, chapter 1.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. And this is a snippet. Mom turned in the front seat, She narrowed her eyes at my brother. Are you making fun of me? She demanded. Yes, Elliot replied. Of course not, I chimed in. Who would ever make fun of you, Mom? When do you ever stop? Mom complained. We're leaving Idaho, Dad announced. That's Wyoming up ahead. We'll be up in those mountains soon. Maybe we'll see mountain cows, I exclaimed sarcastically. Elliot laughed. Mom sighed. Go ahead. Ruin our first family vacation in 3 years. Go ahead.
Who goes to Wyoming for vacation?
I remember one time I was passing through Wyoming and I had to stay at a hotel that had just a hole in the wall.
That sounds right.
It's called a window, Joe.
No, it was not. It was not a window because there was no glass in front of it. It was just this 5-inch gap that was just in.
Did you put your wiener in it?
Did you put your wiener in it?
No, because it was rectangular.
My wiener only goes in a circle.
Oh, and only fits rectangular wieners.
My PP only goes. Yeah, that's right. Couldn't fit it. That's for robots. And also, outside of that hotel for 8 hours straight, there was just motorcycles making their big engine sounds all up and down the strip because they wanted you to know how loud they could be, and they wanted me to know how loud they could be, and it was just great.
And they'd be happy to know, look, if any of those motorcyclists are out there listening to this episode, know that the memory of you has stuck with JoJo for how many years, Joe?
10.
10 years.
Wow, you really got up in there.
They got in your head.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Good job, motoricyclists. That's what they
Good job,
wanted.
motorcycles.
You gave them what they wanted, Joe, by announcing them on this podcast. You idiot.
My point is, the people who go to Wyoming for vacation is not the problem here. The problem is, Mom is acting like a little kid
Yeah.
in this story.
Why are you making fun of me?
Why are you making fun of me? Why don't I just, I don't know, ground you?
I think it's a stark, maybe it stands out because it's a stark contrast to how parents have usually acted in these books towards the kids, which is near violence, screaming, or losing their mind and almost wrecking the car.
Maybe they're maybe there's a little more subtext than we're giving it credit.
Okay.
Maybe there's maybe this relationship between Ma and Pa is on the rocks. I think she's trying to justify how she's gonna walk out on this fucking dead end family.
Are they going to Wyoming? Is she going to Wyoming to stay there? Does the family not know that she intends to not come back with them to Idaho?
She's gonna run away to the verdant, beautiful fields of Wyoming and get herself a cattle.
Yeah, and can we point out the fact that she totally loosened that trailer so that it would...
Oh. Yeah. So right after this, the trailer goes careening down the hill.
Yep.
We're thinking that Mom did it, possibly.
Mom totally did it. She screwed it in weak because she was like, you know what? Either we're going to lose the trailer or we're going to lose the kids in the trailer. Either way, I win.
Yeah, either way, I'll be able to get out of this relationship based on the trauma that I'm feeling. They're going to be like, he's like, honey, you're distant now. Well, the kids died when the trailer careened down the hill.
Kids went down a hill in a trailer.
I can't stay in this relationship anymore.
And you did say it was okay for them to be in the trailer.
Oh, she was against the kids going in the trailer.
She was against it, which is the perfect cover for a kid murderer.
She was quote unquote against.
This book just got insidious. Well, that was a good section, Danielle.
That was an excellent, wonderful section.
Hello and welcome to Breaking Down Bad Books, a podcast analysing trashy bestsellers from a literary perspective. Following my breakdown of Stephenie Meyer's Twilight, I'll be digging deep into the raunchy Twilight fanfic turned erotic romance, 50 Shades of Grey. Although I'm not sure romance is the best word to use. Join me every Monday and Friday for chapter-by-chapter analysis of the book that Salman Rushdie said made Twilight look like War and Peace. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, or visit breakingdownbadbooks.com for all the listen links and contact information. I have a feeling that it's going to get awkward, but let's get through this together. Happy reading!
Joe, I know that you've already said that you have nothing to provide us in this episode, but I want to check.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing. It's almost like a can I talk about it
A lot of this book, I think, is
Most of it is
can we talk about it?
Most of it.
Yeah. There's one thing that I want to point out, and I don't know the section, but you'll probably remember it.
Okay.
It was after the first night of adventure where Wendy won no king coins, but she went back to her dorm with all of her new friends.
Made friends real easy.
Yeah,
she did.
real
Made friends
easy.
real easy. They loaned her clothes on their first day.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have a party. And so the party was a bag of tortilla chips and 2 cans of Diet Coke that they passed around.
Shared.
I don't have any, like, I remember being a young'un and wanting to, party down with the bros after a long day of sport. But even I would not go so far as to be like, let's share a Coke without a straw. Yeah, page 54. This is after Deidre had disappeared. Or they think Deidre had disappeared, but they were having their little party.
So Deidre got her 6 coins, which means she could do the winner's walk.
Yeah, the 3 of us joked. It's on page 53, actually. The 3 of us joked and kidded around for about a half an hour waiting for Deirdre. We sat down on the floor. By the way, all we know about Deirdre is she won 5 coins. And I think she loaned Wendy a swimsuit.
And she has streaky hair.
She has streaky blonde hair.
We sat down on the floor and opened one of the bags of tortilla chips. Without realizing it, we finished off the whole bag. Then we passed around one of the cans of soda, which means that they ate these chips dry.
I eat chips dry all the time. What's wrong with that?
Actually, yeah, you're reading what is effectively Danielle's dinner every night.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I know, Danielle, a picture of fitness, but still, I don't think this was normal. Where is she? Jed demanded, glancing at her watch. It's nearly time for lights out. And then the next thing is, maybe Deirdre forgot we were having a party, I suggested, crinkling the tortilla chip bag and tossing it in the trash
Maybe
basket.
she realized what the party was going to be and was just like, fuck that.
God, I don't need to go to that.
I missed. Definitely not my sport. Basketball is. But the party was her idea, Ivy replied. She climbed to her feet, started pacing back and forth. Where can she be? Everyone is inside now. And then they almost decided to go find her. And
then they're like, fuck that.
they didn't, because they didn't want to break rules.
I mean, yeah, I this party to me sounds like a banger.
This party actually sounds like a stoner party, to be completely honest. Danielle, how much weed do you do when you have a full day of sports?
I don't stop.
The sports or the weed?
Both.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty wild. That's interesting. Let's explore that.
Have there been any? What sport would benefit the most from being super high during it?
Golf, because you got to chill out.
Because
Yeah.
it's just boring as hell and you're just walking around just like derping.
Yeah, what is the chillest sport? Golf? I mean, bowling always seemed kind of chill to me.
Was bowling a sport at Camp Jellyjam?
Yeah, they said
Yeah,
there was
they
bowling
did.
lanes somewhere, which I have questions about.
Does that mean they had laser tag?
Laser tag is more of a sport
What's
than
the
golf.
sport you would have picked?
Okay.
What's the sport? Let's explore this. Let's say that every extant sport exists at Camp Jellyjam, because by all accounts, every sport that you've ever thought of, and some you haven't. What's the real sport that you would pick? The sport that would get you the 6 coins or fucking whatever.
12-year-old us, right?
12-year-old us, for sure.
If it's the difference between what sport would you pick because you knew you would have to play it for 8 hours, 7 days a week?
No. It's the sport that you would pick because you knew you would win at it and would only play it for one day. Because that's how long it would take you to collect those 6 coins.
Yeah, they seem to actually do like probably 2 sports a day, it seemed like.
Yeah. For me, it would have been sprinting and soccer.
Those go hand in hand also.
They do. They are very complimentary.
Yeah. Soccer's a good one. Very exhausting.
Yeah, but I was a good goalie.
You wanted to be goalie? I want you on my team. I hate being goalie.
Yeah, I know, because it gives you a chance to intimidate the other players. When they come running up, then you run at them and you make them all scared. It's good.
Danielle's playing the aggressive goalie role.
I do. It's fun.
My favorite part of playing goalie is pulling a gun out and pointing it at the forwards.
I'm going to shoot a goal, are you? Okay.
Fastest goalie in the West. That's what they call me.
Well, hey, You'll make the shot. You won't make the shot. Either way, I still got a gun on you. So what are we going to do?
Yeah, what's it going to be? What's your move?
Is that trophy worth it?
I don't think it is.
Now, before you say yes,
Yeah, let me just cock this gun.
I'm just going to cock this gun for no particular reason. Now, is the trophy worth it?
Yeah.
I just imagine in my head that someone's running up with the ball to the goal. Danielle pulls out like a small side table, puts it in front of her, and then pulls out the gun and just sets it on the table and stares at them.
It takes, yeah. I take my position. I got the sniper scope.
Turns out, I can't use my hands to stop you, but I can use them to pick up this gun. Interesting.
Hands can't stop you, but you know what can stop you? A bullet.
Yeah. And you know what there's no rules against in soccer? Guns.
You know what? It is using the Air Bud guidelines. That I would watch I don't watch sports. I would watch every sport. I don't care what it is.
If there was a chance that some of the players could pull out a gun?
Yeah.
2 random players each.
Oh, God. Imagine hockey. Hockey would be a bloodbath.
Every weekend, you would turn on football, just waiting for it to turn into Die Hard.
Yep. Just waiting for that to pop the fuck off.
That was, that raises a lot of questions, Joe. It raises a lot of questions about, one, the malnutrition that runs rampant through this through this camp.
Yeah.
A lot of malnutrition.
Which brings me to some of my questions now.
Okay.
Because after reading this book this morning, I was going through it. I was poring over my notes, scribbling things down. And I have a lot of logistical questions. So at the beginning of this book, the kids get to the camp by accident. Assumedly by accident.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
They are in the trailer. They careen off into a wooded area and they eventually stop. They're still alive. And I am still surprised that mom and dad couldn't turn around and manage to find where they landed just by
or that they didn't notice
skid marks or anything. Yeah. So the kids are gone. They're like, where's mom and dad? They're assumingly still driving and they're just completely oblivious to the trailer being gone. And Buddy, who is the head camp counselor, takes the kids to Camp Jellyjam and describes what they're looking at as they arrive. And I'd like to read that to you. For me, it is page 16. As we made our way up to the grassy hill, the red and white banner came into clearer view. A funny purple cartoon character had been drawn beside the words on the banner. He looked like a blob of grape bubblegum. He had a big smile on his face. He wore a gold crown on his head. Who's that? I asked Buddy. Buddy glanced up at the banner. That's King Jellyjam, he replied. He's our little mascot. We're a looking mascot for a sports camp, I declared, staring up at the purple blobby king. Buddy didn't reply. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. So we near the top of the hill, I heard kids' voices, shouting and laughing. I reached the top of the hill first and peered down through the trees to the camp. It seemed to stretch for miles. Mm-hmm. I could see 2 long white 2-story buildings on either side. Between them, I saw several playing fields, a baseball diamond, a long row of tennis courts, and an enormous swimming pool. Those long white buildings are the dorms, Buddy explained. That's the girls' dorm, and that's the boys' dorm. You can stay in them while you're here. That pool looks awesome. It's huge. Olympic size, Buddy told them. We're having diving competitions. There's a 4-lap swim race. This camp is enormous. Like,
apparently.
Theme
it's
park
pretty
size.
big, for sure.
It's huge, right?
Horrorland size, if you will.
Yes, it is Horrorland size. Also, R.L. Stine only knows how to describe size by miles.
Yes.
Because he always describes everything as it seemed to go for miles. A mile's a pretty long way. So the kids get there to the camp, right? There's other kids there. Mathematically, we can assume that there's hundreds of kids there.
There's thousands. Yeah, there's a lot of kids there for sure.
There's a lot of kids there.
Yeah.
How did these kids get there? Wendy and Elliot got there by chance, and their situation made sense where they're just like, I guess we'll stay here for our mom and dad. But there's like thousands of kids here. Not everyone's trailer came off of the fucking car. It's so weird because the kids who get there, and I was working it out in my head like logically. I was like, all right, it makes sense for Wendy and Elliot because they're like, fuck it, we're just here, we have to stay. Unless all these other kids had to have been sent there to camp like purposefully. They can't all be lost kids, right?
I'm picturing a seminar called Do You Hate Your Kids? And then at the end, they sign you up like they sign you up for timeshares. And they're like, yeah,
Kid shares. Get him out of here.
cheers. Send them
hello.
our way.
Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. I'm Danielle. You may be wondering what I'm doing here with this turbo hang glider. It's called not having children. Wouldn't you like to turbo hang glide with me here in beautiful Jamaica? And then it zooms out even further, and there's like a barbecue happening. Get rid of your kids today.
Visit Camp Jellyjam. But like working through it logically, I'm like, all right, even if the kids were sent there purposefully,
Just for the sake of argument.
for the sake of argument, they're being sent there purposefully, right? The parents signed them up because there's so many kids there, and we're in Wyoming. Some parents are going to realize that their kid is not coming home because they were either eaten by some sort of monster, apparently, or B, they're going to come home and be like, Mom, they're like, how was camp, honey? And they're going to be like, Mom, I had to wash this big stinky bubblegum guy. I wanted to come home real quickly. I sent you letters. They're just like, kids always say that. You hate being there, but as soon as you want to as soon as we try to take you away, you're not going to want to leave. There's so little explanation as to why there are so many children there. I don't get it.
There are no explanations of implications.
No.
Implications,
Pretty great.
not explained.
It's pretty great.
It is pretty
Pretty
great.
great.
It's just like, strap in and come for the ride, motherfucker. I'm not going to explain shit to you.
Yeah, and also, who's funding this? Is it King Jellyjam? Does he have coffers?
He must. Where does this gold crown come from? His coffers.
He does. I'm glad you brought up the crown.
Yeah.
He wears a literal crown.
He wears an actual crown.
Yeah, not even figurative, an actual crown.
It's not like a paper crown like a Burger King one that they just put on him for fun. It's an actual crown.
It's an actual crown. Yeah.
That they wear, that he wears
Indeed. Doesn't he wear it well?
to prove
He's king.
his what's the word I'm thinking of?
His
here?
God ordained, his
his God ordained, like, exactly, like what like, I am ordained by God himself.
Fucking right you are.
It is by divine right that these children scrub.
scrub me.
God wants this.
God wants me.
A lot. Is this the end game for the crown?
Yeah, for sure.
It's gotta be.
Is this where the British monarchy is going?
If it's not,
It's
how
not
can they
authentic
have fucked
if
up
it's
so
not.
badly if it's not?
How did he get the crown?
I like to think.
He killed his father,
Yes, precisely.
Emperor Jam, who
Emperor Jam.
first of his name, Emperor William Jam. He
The fourth.
the fourth. Obviously, he was. No, he's the first of
first
his
to
name.
ascend.
It was King William the First.
Okay.
And then now we have Emperor.
And he had a son who he named Jelly.
Because it seemed to fit at the time.
It did.
It sure did.
Because he was so goo stricken.
He's really jiggly.
He was stricken with what they call the goos.
I've got that too.
And what happened was he got done. Wouldn't you know it? He got done murdered. It was not. There were a few questions.
But it definitely wasn't the son.
Couldn't have been the
wearing
son.
The crown.
Couldn't have been the
He would never want to take that burden. He said it out loud for many to hear at a time. I wish I would never be king. May my father reign 1,000 years.
The King Bill is dead. Long live the king. Boy, I stink.
Whoa, are you smelling that?
First rule ordained by your new king. Give me a bath, please.
Scrub me.
Bath, please.
Scrub the fuck out of me right now.
My first command is king. Bath time.
Bath time.
Forever.
King Jellyjam, you've invested all of our coffers and money for the kingdom into buckets and mops and sponges.
Which is not nothing, but is very confusing.
You have emptied the well for public consumption to bathe yourself because you stinky so bad, as you wrote down on the scroll.
I stinky.
Can he read and write? He is king.
He is king.
He would have to because he has to sign like the land grants.
Yeah, decrees.
to the dukes of peanut butter and Nutella. I really can't believe we read this fucking book. This sucks so bad.
My question is because I mean, I have a bunch of stuff, but like, I feel like we're not doing sections if I'm just going to read off my things. I don't know if we have anything else in other parts to bring up, like middle. Before we get, really, we're just waiting to get to the end.
Yeah, really, we're just biding our time. We need to have enough material recorded so Jeff can make an episode.
I'll get us to the end. So we've been dicking around.
We've
been fucking around. We've been having fun together.
It's not like us to have fun or to faff about, but something about this book just requires it.
Faff about? That's so whimsical.
So whimsical.
Been watching too much The Crown.
I think it's chapter 25.
Chapter 12.
Let's see. Because chapter 24 is when she almost gets found out.
25. Squinting into the bright light. This is literally chapter 25. I saw dozens of kids with mops and buckets and water hoses. At first, I thought they were cleaning off a giant purple balloon. Bigger than any balloon in the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Did it say Macy's for you?
Yeah, it
does
says
not
Macy's.
say Macy's.
Oh, mine says Macy's.
Mine does not say Macy's.
Weird.
But as the water sprayed over it and the mop soaped its sides, the balloon let a loud groan. And I realized I wasn't staring at a balloon. It was a creature. And the creature was alive. I was staring at a monster. I was staring at King Jellyjam. 2 enormous, watery yellow eyes rolled around in its head. He smacked his fat purple lips and groaned again. Hunks of thick white goo dripped from his huge, hairy nostrils. So he's a goo monster with hair.
Yeah, and nostrils, so he has a nose?
Yeah, like why would... Well, how else is he going to smell himself if he's
A
going to...
disgusting odor rolled off his body, even holding my nose. I couldn't keep out the sour stench. He smelled like dead fish, rotting garbage, sour milk, and burning rubber. All at once.
Well, goddamn.
That was... Oh, wait, this is my favorite. His purple stomach heaved as if an ocean wave was breaking inside him, and he let out a putrid burp that shook the walls. So those are the earthquakes.
Yeah, earthquakes keep happening like twice a day, and it's just this big dude burping.
He's burping.
And he was... And then little round objects rained down on them. Click, click, click. The little round things scattered the floor. Snails. Snails popping out the King Jellyjam skin.
Why?
I tried to gag again. When I realized the hideous creature was sweating.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
So, Jeff, sweating is what you do when you're too hot.
Oh.
Snails is what you do when
Snails
you sweat.
is cold.
That is...
Sweat's cold. Snails is colder than sweat.
The cold as ice.
I was trying to like work through it with Danielle earlier as to why out of any detail you could give this big monster.
It sweats snails.
It sweats living fucking snails.
I thought it was an alien.
Yeah, me too.
Sure. Like, who else?
Is this a terrestrial being or is this an alien?
Doesn't seem like it could be, but it turns out it's not.
In our Behind the Screams, JoJo, I'll tell you.
Yeah. It gives the origin. Yeah, and it is not alien.
It is not. We'll tell you this much. It is not alien. It is terrestrial in origin.
Yep.
It is terrestrial in origin.
It is
Yes.
terrestrial.
You're telling me that God on high created this thing.
God willed this. Yes.
Look, King Jellyjam was created in the Lord's own image. So
That is why
Yep.
he is a king.
Exactly. Like, no one else looks like him. No one else looks like God.
I know I don't want to keep going back to it, but where the fuck did he get his crown?
So is he the... Danielle, is King Jellyjam the bourgeoisie?
King Jellyjam is not even the bourgeoisie. Those are the scrubbers. He
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because they're they think they're higher up on the cast.
But really, they have no control.
and they're just enslaved to the higher up, the oligarch.
Oh.
Take that, middle class.
Hey. The odor galak.
What happened?
The
What's
odor,
happening?
The
What,
odor
Jeff?
Did you have
galak.
a stroke?
What was? Hey, Jeff, what was that? What did you do?
What's
Danielle
wrong,
and I are
Jeff?
both curious. What'd you do?
The odor oligarch. Because he smells.
Oh, okay. The odor. So Danielle, it's because he stinks so bad, he die.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
I was only just barely saved.
This is the big
This is the big reveal.
battle. Well, there's also a big battle.
Yeah.
Which is not too dissimilar from what's happening right now.
extremely underwhelming.
The kids are all the winners,
Yeah.
obviously.
Exactly.
Who are down there to wash away all of his stinky,
Right. They're helping him cover it up.
They have to scrub the stink out of him,
or he'll die.
or he die.
Correct?
They won't die.
Nope.
He die.
He die.
Yes.
They not like it, but he die.
He big die.
They're not happy. He dead.
Him. So let's not eat. Like, are there more passages we need to get to?
I think there's a couple of things at the end that I want to bring up in response to the big finale.
Yeah, the finale.
The finale, if you can call it that.
So he's so big
Yep.
and stinks so bad
Right.
Yep.
that her plan to save the day
Oh my.
is to get all the kids to not
Wash him.
wash him anymore.
To do a strike, a worker strike.
Go on
do
strike.
a worker. Fuck, you're right. They do go on strike. Oh shit! This is the most communist book there is. They're in a work camp for the whole of it.
Yeah, they are.
I'm sorry.
So-
King Jellyjam Bezos is more like it.
That's exactly. I mean,
Comrade Jelly Jam. Is that anything? Anyway,
I like
so her plan is they go on strike by all laying down because when they lay down, him too fat to grab them.
Apparently, because there's no lead into it.
him hand can't grab.
There's no lead in. She's just like everyone. Wendy's plan is save day. Everyone lay down on the ground, and then they all lay down, and then Jelly Jam like try grab them and can't, and then
It's like a quarter on the ground.
and then this is like 5 minutes apart. Him stink so bad. Him die. Police arrive.
The police come.
Police arrive and say, "Listen, it stinks so bad in town, we got involved."
Which means the police knew the camp was there already.
No. They didn't because him stink cleaned.
Oh, him stink was covered up.
When stink not clean, police. When stink clean, everything fine.
The police came because it started stinking so bad.
Yeah, and I'm
But
like,
within the 5 minutes, she said, "Lie down."
Yeah.
And then he died.
and also like a battalion of police who were like, "What is that smell?"
But the police, I think they say, I'll have to say it, that like we just thought that things were fine because the mom and dad called the camp
yeah,
looking for the kids and they
They're like,
lied.
nope, never seen him.
They said these kids aren't here.
Never seen him in my life.
So someone answered the phone.
Yeah. Also, the phones, when you try and use the phone from Camp Jellyjam, it's King Jellyjam being like, hey, welcome to King Jellyjam's camp. Have a good day.
Hello, how do you like scrubbing?
My name is King Jellyjam. Gobble gobble.
What does that voice sound like? Because apparently, I'm confused about his physiology because apparently he has hands.
Yeah,
He has hands.
I sort of imagined them like emerging from his body, like
He has hands. He has arms. He has desires.
His dreams.
He has needs.
His needs are to not be stinky.
He die.
Or he died. King Jellyjam is the perfect example of self-preservation.
yep.
So in the cave where King Jellyjam, where he rests, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. F in chat for King Jellyjam.
For
Yeah.
King JJ.
That's right.
So I'm curious how big of a space this is because I did a little math. And I'm just making some broad guesses, but based on what's given in the book, around 8 kids every day are winners. So they get taken to King Jellyjam, right?
To wash him. To scrub out
wash
his
him.
Stink.
And he eats, let's say that 3 kids a day, as they say once.
You know what, Jeff? Let's.
Yeah, so that's 5 kids net on a daily basis down there scrubbing away.
In terms of gross profits, you got 5 kids.
In terms of disgusting gross profits, you got 5 kids a day. And let's say that, you know what? I don't know what happens in the off season when it's not summertime. And do the kids stay there or do they just stay all year round? But let's just look at the 3 months of summer for 90 days. That's 5 times 90 days. That's 450 kids you're going through.
Well, let me take you one more again, Jeff, because there's a step below this that you didn't even pay attention
Oh
to
shit, what is it?
Oh,
because you're
hubris.
I think it's because you're afraid, if I'm being honest. I think you're afraid.
That makes sense.
I am afraid of
here's-
success, which is why I am
Here's what
who I
you missed
am.
out on.
That's why we are where we are.
So he has with him a cult of people,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Why aren't they washing him?
You mean the counselors?
Yeah.
They're the sheepdogs.
No. But what I'm saying is, it really makes no difference who washes him.
It
Yeah.
does, because you got to wrangle them. You got to
So-
wrangle the washers.
No.
Yeah.
Why? Because
Because-
the counselors are so much bigger and stronger and able to withstand strikes from a bat. So why?
That's why they're valuable. That's why they're more
Why is
valuable.
it they don't wash him?
They would be better at washing him because they
they
can't
would-
feel pain or tiredness
they
or
can't
anything.
feel pain.
Okay,
They
guys,
can't
let me
feel
explain some
sadness.
economics to you. Here's how this works.
Oh, Danielle, you fucking.
The counselors, because you asked, Joe, the counselors are a high value but also high cost resource. So because they're high cost, you don't want to just sort of get rid of them, say, by threes every day. The children, however, are a self-refilling
Careening trailer type
careening
of.
trailer of resource. So they're more disposable. So it's worth the trade-off to have like this useless little person die than an actually like heavy.
King
heavy hitter.
Jellyjam sent those counselors to a 6-week course
Yeah, you did.
to become who they are, which at a cost for each counselor $300. That's an investment.
Yeah, that's a big sunk cost, man.
You don't want to just eat that.
No, you don't.
Don't want to.
Literally.
Okay.
You
Well,
can't eat it. You can eat it financially. You'll be in the red. It's not good. I think that maybe the children are supposed to be disposable
Yes.
because they can't. The kids aren't being, assumedly, not being taken care of down there with King Jellyjam. They said they have to wash him all day and night.
Yeah.
So assumedly, they just die of exhaustion,
Yeah, or thirst, or whichever happens.
or whichever happens, or get eaten.
Sure.
So you got to replace it with something easy peasy.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have another one lined up, right swift.
So literally the kids are slaves to this big monster who can't grab them if they lay on the ground.
Nope.
And it takes the bravery of one girl to be like, everybody
Lay down!
hit the ground.
And that solves the whole thing. That solves the entire problem. The kids were stupid because the solution to their problem all along was just to lay the fuck down.
Yeah. Which is the opposite of doing sport.
Yeah. Yeah, which is maybe why it didn't occur to them. And maybe
Jesus
why.
Christ, is this game smart?
They did the opposite that they've been told to do this whole time at sport camp. And they said, you know what? I've been doing sport this whole time. I'm going to not do sport.
Oh my God.
If
you're
this
right.
game's smart, if this smart, Jeff, I don't know that we can talk about it anymore. If this smart,
Anyway, he smell. You don't want to know how he dies, right? Him smell.
Him smell so
him
bad.
stink so bad he died.
Him sting so bad he died.
We've said that like 80 times so far on this
Yeah, him stink
episode.
so bad he died. We've been over this.
It didn't take very long for him die because him stinks so bad.
It was almost instantaneous.
Yeah.
Which makes it, so that's why I don't get. Like, why the fuck did he even have time to put together a cult?
Yeah, how did he grow? Did someone take like pity on him first and then they were just like, I'm going to put a little crown on you.
Yeah, look at you.
You know what? You have to have something to believe in.
I
I
guess
mean,
that's true.
everyone needs a hero.
Everyone needs a hero. And you know what? Maybe King Jellyjam is that to all those kids. You know what? He did give them purpose and he got them out in the sun a lot, which is good.
Where he couldn't be because him stinks so bad, and the last thing him need was sun.
Yep. Him no need some. Him stink.
So bad he did.
So have we done enough?
I hope so. Do we want to go into some of the behind the screams?
Horror at Camp Jellyjam is one of the many Goosebumps books that was re-released. Is sort of like just repackaged with updated, like they mentioned Facebook in it. You get a code for Fortnite skins in it, and I don't have this version, but Jeff and Danielle do. And one of the things they added, which I personally love, is the behind the scream section. So, could one of you please read the behind the screams for?
Do you want to know the origin of King Jellyjam?
I would love to know the origin of King Jellyjam, and it better be he was the long lost prince of an ancient civilization.
This is a
only.
Beauty and the Beast situation. He was waiting for Belle to
he's
come and
Beast.
break the spell. He was Beast.
His rose is wilting.
Yeah, his rose is wilting. His snail is wilting.
Oh!
And him stinks so bad he dead.
Him stinks. Okay, good.
You're about to get your fucking mind blown by this origin, by the way.
Oh shit. Okay, go on, lay it on me.
Origins. a careless camper left a cup of gelatin deep in a cave that was contaminated with radiation and slimy snails. King Jellyjam was born out of these strange mix of ingredients, and children everywhere were given another reason not to litter. He's literally
Litter.
He's literally just he's Jello. If the Ninja Turtles were Jello,
Yeah.
Where's the crown? Where's the crown? from?
that's the question they leave out, which I'm assuming you have to read the entire other series to find out how. That's sort of the that's like when you get the prequels after the regular film, and you're waiting for them to be like, well, I guess we should call you Superman. You're waiting for that moment.
Fuck.
You want to know how he got that crown. It's going to be the big reveal. You want to know how he got the Millennium Falcon. So you're going to watch Solo.
You're going to watch a trio of prequels.
You're going to watch this entire multi-universe fucking film series to find out how he got his stupid crown.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
And it's going to be underwhelming. He's going to have bought it himself.
So we've established now what is his origin. What is
He's Jello that became radiation.
What is some other information that you can?
His special powers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Hypnotism and exuding snails and a stink so bad him die.
Correct.
As King Jellyjam grew, so did his powers. Which I guess maybe that means he had powers. So he had stink so bad at various points, but not so much.
His natural gelatin power.
All the powers of Jello.
It was like a deal with the devil. The more power he got, the more him stink.
I want children to love me. Okay, but you're going to stink so bad you dead.
I don't care. I love the children.
He was able to hypnotize camp counselors to do his dirty work. Soon he had dozens of counselors and children obeying his every order.
Okay.
So he has hypnotizing powers, apparently.
So his hypnotism powers.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't mention snails as a power, though.
No snail power.
What about stink powers?
It doesn't say, I guess doing a harikiri on yourself is not considered a power.
No, it is a weakness. That is one of his weaknesses.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
There.
What else has he got?
His weaknesses, you mean?
Yes.
King Jellyjam is so enormous that he cannot leave his cave. Him stinks so bad, him dead. Him so big, him can't leave him house. His stench is so overpowering that he'll die from stench suffocation if he doesn't force others to keep him clean.
He's the body shaming monster.
He is. Do you want to know his hobbies and interests?
Oh, God.
Sure.
This kind of puts a different spin on him for me. I didn't read this part.
I like him more now.
His hobbies and interests: personal hygiene,
Yep.
and collecting bath soaps and scented candles. So he had some other accoutrement.
Yeah, he had assistance from other sources.
He's got a subscription box to Lush.
For sure.
It comes once a month.
It's a pretty big box, though.
You know what? He just wants to relax with some scent candles.
I can't keep doing this with this guy. I fucking hate this guy so much. I fucking can't with this guy. It's so annoying.
Put the bath bar underneath the running water so it bubbles up the water.
Bubble up the water. So
Put on some Kenny G. Lower the lights a little bit. I like to have a nice relaxing bath too. His speed skill is a 3 out of 10.
Which seems
more than he
generous.
should have.
Yeah,
high.
because he can't even leave the cave.
But his strength skill is a fucking 8 out of 10?
How?
He can't pick up a kid.
You can't do shit. All he can do is burp really hard.
Yeah, his intelligence is a 7 out of 10.
I don't know about that.
Well, he did hypnotize all those kids. And you know what? The margins for that camp, super good.
It's true. He's an economic genius.
He is an economic genius, yes. People like this book.
why?
I liked it until King Jellyjam popped
Yeah.
up. Even though on my cover of the book, the new one, they give it away. They show the King Jellyjam with his little crown on the front.
So it's like there's no point.
Yeah, it's like they showed Thanos killing Tony Stark.
Yeah. What the hell?
Spoilers! You son of a gun! I haven't watched them movies yet. I don't know what happens to Mr. Thanos.
I was actually wrong. Sorry, Thanos didn't kill Tony Stark. Tony Stark died from using the stones. So
Him stank too much.
yeah, him. Tony Stark died because him stinks so bad he dead. That was a twist ending to the Avengers films.
Thank you to the band Dog Party for the use of our theme song, Bad Dream, off of the album Hit and Run. It's a wonderful song by a wonderful band and a wonderful album. You can check it out at dogpartylive.com, dogparty.bandcamp.com. The next full episode of our show is going to be out on March 29th, and on that episode, we are going to be reading Goosebumps 6, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb.
From 1993, just like all of his books.
It's like all of his books. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do so on Twitter at geesebumps_pod, or you can email us at geesebumpspod@gmail.com. Geesebumps is just one piece of a ton of Mom Hat comedy content. You can check out our YouTube Let's Play show called JoJo Has Fun, JoeJoeHasFun, where we play games with no context. You can also check out our Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition actual play podcast called The Rolls We Made. Danielle, I believe you have something to say about leaving a review.
I do. I am so done with having to beg motherfuckers for simple things. We live in an advanced society, do we not? Advanced, so advanced, one might say, that one could go onto an internet where there be pages and information. Also, Apple Podcasts. And there, it might surprise you to know, they have a thing where you can review stuff. And if you do, it really helps the podcast you're reviewing. So maybe stop being a dick and do it, or I'll kill you. That's it.
It's really good, Danielle. It's really effective marketing.
Thanks.
Jeff, is there anything we need to remember to say?
I leave that to you guys. I don't have shit to say.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode. Danielle, if you would please provide us with that final passage.
Oh, happily. Okay, so Billy shows up and gives fucking, what's his name? Elliot.
Buddy.
Billy Buddy shows up and gives Elliot a coin, another coin, at their house after this is all over. He comes to the house and he's like, here, have a coin. And then he takes off. And that is what has just happened. Are you sure you should have taken that? I asked Elliot. Why not? He replied. The purple monster is dead, right? What could happen? 5 minutes later, we both smelled the horrible odor at the same time. Yuck, Elliot groaned. He swallowed hard. Wendy, what's that smell? He stammered. I don't know, I replied in a shaky voice. I heard Mom laugh behind us. We turned to see her standing in the doorway to the kitchen. What's wrong? She asked. I have a pot of Brussels sprouts boiling on the stove.
My name is JoJo. I have a PhD.
My name is Danielle. I have a PhD.
My name is Jeff, and I stink so bad I dead.
Oh.
This has been Geesebumps, a Did You Mean Goosebumps podcast. And until next time, stay out of the basement.
Just like somebody I used to know.